Hey you guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we will be doing a full review of the Google Pixel 8 Pro. So let's get right into it. Google Pixel 8 Pro. So let's start off with the price, right? So the price for this phone right now, I believe it's a special that Google is actually doing. But right now you can get this phone for $799, and it is for the 128GB model, which is the one that I have here. You can also get the 256 model, but that one will run you $859, which in my opinion, it's still pretty good because I don't know if you guys remember, but when the Pixel first launched, even for the 128GB one, it was $999. So it was, a pretty hefty price tag. Now with those discounts, I feel like it actually makes the phone much more valuable and also much more affordable. And remember that you guys can get it in that new bay color that everybody seems to like. It's like that baby bluish color. You can also get the Obsidian, which is the one that I have here, and you could get the Proclane one, and it's like that clear beigey type of color. Alright guys, so first things first, the thing you're gonna notice first off the bat with any phone that you get, and let's start off with the display. Now the display on the Google Pixel 8 Pro is whatever Google calls it their super actual display. Now nonetheless, it's a 1344 by 2992, and it's a 489 for the PPI, and it's an LTPO OLED display, and full brightness is up to 2400 nits, which is pretty crazy considering the fact that most Google Pixel phones back in the day were, you can say that their display was one of the more weak parts of their phones. And it's great also because now with the display, you can actually have the smooth display automatically, which is between 60 to 100 hertz, which is also great. Me personally, when I was setting up the phone, I suggest that you guys do this too, but I usually do almost all my Android phones on the adaptive colors instead of the neutral colors. I don't know, I feel like it kind of adds a little bit more spice to the colors and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention to you guys. But yeah, all right, but enough with the facts. Let's get deep into it, guys. Let's talk about the display. And honestly speaking, this display is amazing. I've had no issues using this phone outdoors in bright sunlight conditions. We can finally say that we have a amazing display for the Google Pixel. Previously, Google was never really known for their displays, which is always a bummer, but nonetheless, they actually stepped it up this year, and I'm really happy that they did. Because I remember, especially on the 4XL, you would actually have to almost squint your eyes when you were using it outdoors in bright sunlight. And also, one thing that I used to just hate so much is whenever you would use the camera outdoors, you couldn't even really see what you were taking a picture of, which was pretty annoying. But nonetheless, they actually fixed that with this display, so that's an A+ for Google on the display from my part. All right guys, so that's the display. Also, just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my unboxing, but if you guys look closely, the display is now a flat display. No more curved displays like you used to see back in the Pixel phones, which I didn't really mind it, to be honest with you guys. It was still I didn't mind it at all. But yeah, I can say that using the flat display on this has kind of spoiled me a little bit, so I do like it. Alright you guys, so now one of my biggest gripes with the Pixel 7 Pro was their speakers. Not the bottom speakers, but this speaker up here. And believe it or not, it almost sounded like the front speaker or the top speaker had no bass to it, and so it would just sound muffled. So you had bass here, but you had no bass here. And I was like, yo, what the hell? If you're spending that much amount of money, you want to have good speakers, especially if you're someone that uses this phone a lot for video. And I'm happy to say that they finally were able to fix that speaker here. So for example, let's just go to this, and I'll let you guys hear the speakers on how they sound. Pixel 8 Pro. So let's get right into it. So first things first, you're gonna have two stickers here when you order it directly from Google. So let's just go ahead and cut these up. Yeah, so we got the phone. We also get a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. So you guys, so major upgrade in terms of this speaker here. That was actually one of the reasons, I wouldn't say the reason, but one of the bigger reasons why I actually returned the 7 Pro after having it for a few days. I'm like, it just was unbearable, to be honest with you guys. It just sounded so cheap straight off the bat, and like comparing it to like the iPhones and the Galaxies, it just wasn't up to par for me. So they finally fixed that front speaker. It finally sounds like a premium phone. So nonetheless, A+ for the speakers on this phone. All right guys, now when you're gonna purchase this phone, the display is important, the speakers is important, but none of that will work if you have a horrible battery. So let's talk about the battery with the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now, it claims to have 24-hour battery, but it's depending on your usage, I want to say it's more like 18 hours, 20 hours at most. It does have a 5050 milliamp battery size, which is great. I mean, compared to old Pixels used to die pretty quick, and there was never really a good excuse why. Like, it wouldn't be because of their displays, it wouldn't be because of their refresh rate, it would just be there just wasn't a great battery to begin with. But we can finally say that the Pixel 8 Pro is, I want to say, a full day phone battery. I've had no overheating issues whatsoever, especially when running like multiple apps at the same time on this phone. And typically when it's like bedtime, you know, I mean, I feel like I'm an old man because I go to bed by like 9:30, 10, but typically my phone is at around 20% when I'm going to bed. And it's actually great because Google gives you a couple features here, like battery saver. So if you turn on battery saver, it's claiming it can extend your battery life. But if you go to extreme battery saver, it claims to do 72-hour phones on a full charge. I personally didn't test it out because one thing you'll notice when you put the extreme battery saver on, so you notice how all these apps just went dark and you only have like your Play Store, your phone, your messages, your camera. So if you try to click it, it's like it doesn't let you use it because it says app paused by extreme battery saver. So it's only gonna let you use the apps that you truly need. Me personally, I wouldn't use it, but I can see where if you're at like 10%, you won't be home for like an hour. Yeah, I can honestly see why Google would put that feature. I mean, it's definitely cool, but it's just honestly not for me. But yet again, my experience with it could be different from yours. You might benefit from it, just me, not really. So yeah, and honestly, I want to say that I do use this phone pretty hefty. Like, I'm either scrolling on TikTok or on YouTube or checking mail or texting or on a phone call or watching Netflix when I'm having a meal or something. So I do use this phone. I did use this phone pretty heavy, like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. But no, overall the battery life was actually great, and I was actually surprised that it was this great. But let's go ahead and turn that back. But yeah, like I said, once you turn it off, then all your apps go back to normal. All right, you guys, now let's talk about the good stuff. Let's talk about the build quality of this phone. Now, Google says that it weighs 213 grams, which I want to say it's give or take. It feels light. Like, it's not a heavy phone. Like, this is an awesome one-handed phone. If you're a one-hand phone user, it's not heavy at all. It feels premium, but not heavy. Kind of like what the iPhone did with their new titanium, where like the phone is super light compared to how it was with their stainless steel rails. Still feels premium, and it's great because it's like, you know, like, you ever be watching a video in your bed and then like the phone falls on your face? Yeah, that's a different type of pain. Thankfully with this phone, it's not that heavy, so you'll be cool. I mean, it's still gonna hurt, but you won't die from it. But yeah, honestly guys, the build quality has been good. I'm not one to drop my phones often, if not ever, rarely, to be honest with you guys, but it feels firm in the hand, you know. One hand use with this phone is good. I want to say the camera bump right here, how it's positioned, it helps have your finger like right here and then your pinky down here, and it makes the user experience really good. Like, even without a case, it feels pretty sturdy. Me personally, I would still rock a case. That's just me. But yeah, with this right here, you can just put your hand here, your finger right here, and then your pinky right here, and boom, you know what I mean? It's gonna feel secure in the hand, and yeah, you're not gonna have any issues in that department. But guys, so like I said, the back here, it's like a matte type of finish. Now Google themselves is calling it a matte back with polished aluminum rails, aluminum frame. So it's not stainless steel, it's aluminum, but I don't know if they kind of like, it kind of looks like stainless steel, to be honest with you, from afar. But overall, it's great. I mean, you can still see the fingerprints a little bit if you put light to it, but like, just to the naked eye on its own, you're not really going to be able to see those fingerprints, which I honestly feel that was a major plus with the 8 Pro. Talk about the reason why you would even consider buying a Google Pixel 8 Pro. And it really all comes down to the cameras, if we're being honest here. In the camera section, In the rear, you're going to have a 50 megapixel wide camera, a 48 megapixel quad telephoto, and then you're gonna have a front camera, that's this one right here, that is a 10.5 megapixel. One thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if it's because in my mind I know that I have a Google Pixel 8 Pro, but I found myself actually like going out and like taking pictures of random stuff just because the camera quality is so good and the software behind it is great, to the point where like I'll be somewhere randomly and I'm not one, I mean, just take my phone out and take a picture, not even with my phone or my S23 Ultra, but with the Pixel, I noticed that like I enjoy taking pictures, guys. Like I purposely want to take my phone out and snap a picture of something. I guess, I don't know, maybe it's because I know that it's just gonna come out to be an amazing picture. I mean, that could be just me. Yet again, it's a Pixel phone. They're known for their photography, you know what I'm saying? This is probably the major reason why you're even getting this phone. And you know, one thing I've always noticed is that the Pixel cameras have always had like a warm feeling to them. And at least in my experience, they're pretty accurately close to what my eye sees. The portraits on this are amazing. The landscape shots are great. I can fully say with confidence, it's easily my favorite photography phone this year by far. Put in the S23 Ultra and put in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The Pixel 8 Pro is my favorite photography phone. Video, it's hit or miss. I don't really pull this phone out for video, guys. If I want to shoot a video, 9 out of 10 times I'll have my camera with me, but like it's great. It's been improved. The video is just not up to par with the Video Champ, which is the iPhone, you know what I mean, or the S23 Ultra. The video is you're not really gonna get this phone for video. You're gonna get this phone for photography, and that's just the honest truth. And I mean, it's definitely improved. Like, it's usable footage. Sometimes, especially during like dark scenarios, the image is kind of grainy. Not my cup of tea, you know. Photography, A+. Video, I'll give it a C. I'll give it a B-. Now let's talk about the software performance. Now, as you guys know, on this Pixel we have the Tensor G3, and the Pixel, in my experience, it's been good. It's been a solid chip. Like I stated before, I've had no heating issues. It never once lagged in any department. And I'm someone that's, as you can see, like I could just keep going. And even then, like it still held up great. Like it never heated up on me. It never like didn't do what I wanted it to do. Tensor G3 is really doing its thing with it. I've had no issues whatsoever. In terms of gaming, it was great. I mean, I'm not one that's a huge gamer. I mean, really all I play is 8-Ball. But other than that, I mean, I had no issues whatsoever with the Tensor G3. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I did notice, don't get me wrong, and I've had this happen with a couple phones. And yet again, like I said, I'm not great at, you know, closing my apps, but like let's say I'll be like on YouTube, right, and then I'll go to like text somebody real quick, and then I might go to like, I don't know, to Netflix, and then when I go back to YouTube, most of the time it kind of like restarted the app. Once again, I'm not the best person at closing my apps, so take that with a grain of salt. That shouldn't really turn you away from this phone, you know. This phone is a great phone. All right, now if we really are getting to the nitty gritty of it, you know that the software on this phone is amazing. Google's never been one to be known for their hardware. I mean, honestly though, this hardware, I think they did a great job with it this year, but they're known for their software. And by far, 1,000 times over, guys, my favorite feature has to be this. Like, I get, especially with spams, dude, guys, let me tell you, there's no better satisfaction than getting a scam call and your Google Assistant answering for you. You know why? Because as soon as they see it's a Google Assistant, they just hang up. So those days wasting your time with the spammers are over. Just send them to the call screen. And one great feature that I also found is that if you get like a call from like a number, it'll, you know, you won't pick up the call, but it'll actually ask the caller what they're calling you back. It'll show you and you'll be able to listen to it. And even with the voicemails, it's great as well. Like, I don't know about you guys, but the call screen on this is amazing. Like, you people would think that you have your own business. Like, I kid you not. Like, it's like your own, like, yes, it's Google Assistant, but the call screen, like, guys, honestly, that alone is amazing. And like, I love that on the Pixel. It just adds more value to it. That's all the positive. Now let's talk, you know, a couple negatives. For one, this area right here, not sure if you'll be able to see it on camera, but this area right here collects a lot of dust. So does up here. And, you know, I understand, you know, it's a phone, it's gonna get dirty, whatever, but it's kind of hard to clean. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not sure if there's any way for me to show that on camera. But yeah, like right here, guys, like, yeah, like right there, I don't know if you guys can see that right there. And it's kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. The second thing that I would have to honestly, I don't know, say that sucked on this phone was the face unlock. Like, so the way it works is that once you have it in front of you, you lock it, you see that little white circle, and it unlocks it, right? And then you just swipe up. Google, why not? As soon as it sees my face, it just unlocks on its own, kind of like what the iPhone does, you know? Like, and forget about using this thing when it's dark. It's not gonna work. You're gonna have to use the fingerprint sensor. There goes the second complaint. The fingerprint sensor on this phone, you know, it's good, could be better. It's not like the ultrasonic fingerprint sensors on the S23 Ultra, but like sometimes, like if you just want to do it quickly, you kind of have to hold and press it. And I had one time where it just wasn't reading my finger at all for some strange reason, so it made me punch in my code, and that was actually pretty annoying. And then also I tried to use the boost video quality, which is a new feature that came out with the cameras. I did this small short video like maybe 3 hours ago, and it says boost video quality. This may take some time. A notification will be sent when your video is ready. Like, Google, like, why is it taking so long? Like, it's been almost 3 hours since I took this video and still no results. You know, I'm still here waiting for it. That was actually annoying as hell. Not even gonna sugarcoat that one. But now let's talk about the thermometer. So, I mean, I feel like it was a little gimmicky. I know that they had to get FDA approval in order for this thing to even be put on this phone. And like, I have like ice cold water here. So I guess you just tap it. So you tap it, right? And then it'll measure right here, right? And then it'll measure how cold it is. So according to this water bottle is 38.5 degrees. When would I ever really need to use that? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool, and the sensor is right here, and the sensor is actually right here next to the flash, but like, when would I ever need to use that? I don't know. Seems a little gimmicky to me, but that could just be me. Maybe you will be able to find a better use for it than I did, but you know, that's just me nitpicking, honestly speaking. You know, the microphones, the phone quality has been great. I've had no issues there. Speakers are great, displays, everything on this phone is actually great. It's just those little nitpicking things. But guys, let's get back to the cameras. I forgot to say, like, this phone, bro, like, it'll make anybody look good. Not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, the picture quality on this thing is just so cool. And also, this being the Pro model, one thing that you'll notice is that whenever you go to so if you get the Pixel 8 Pro, you have the Pro settings, right, where you have 12 megapixels, or you can go all the way to 50 megapixels, JPEG versus RAW. You can switch that at any time. Lens selection, auto, or you can select it yourself. But yeah, like with the 8 Pro, you have some Pro settings on the camera, obviously. You know, night sight, night sight has been great regardless, regardless of what either Pixel that you've had in the past. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, let's get to the main question. Should you buy this phone? Honestly, I'm gonna give it a hard yes. Honestly, guys, one thing that I've always noticed switching from iPhone to Android is that for some reason, there's only been this phone and another phone that truly gives me like a good phone experience. Like, there's no compromise, and this phone has done it. Typically when I switch to Android, I always have my iPhone around because I feel like I'm missing something there, you know what I mean? But this phone, I didn't feel like that one bit. I felt like I can take this phone, take it through the day, and I was gonna be totally fine. Like, I felt no compromise. So yeah, I recommend it if you've been thinking about switching from iPhone. I feel like this is definitely gonna be an easy swap for you if you're thinking about, coming from like a Galaxy or a OnePlus. Guys, I mean, this is as close to perfect of a phone that Google has ever made, and honestly, I couldn't recommend it more. I love this phone. There's honestly nothing that comes to mind other than the stuff stuff that I nitpicked about that makes me think that you shouldn't buy this. So go ahead, buy one. Actually, right now you can still buy it for $7.99 plus with a trade-in. That's a steal. $9.99 with a trade-in, yes, but full $1,000, that's a hard sell. Me personally, I would still buy it, but that's just me. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'll be purchasing the Google Pixel 8 Pro, and if you do, let me know, or if you own it already, let me know what you like, what you dislike, what you wish would have been different. But yeah, I think that's where I will wrap up this video. So guys, thank you everybody that has subscribed to my channel. It means the world to me, and currently right now we are sitting at 423 subscribers. So thank you very much to everybody that has subscribed, and if you haven't subscribed, come join us. We upload frequently. We will bring you guys the best reviews humanly possible. And no, I don't get paid. Google didn't send this phone out to me. I bought this with my own hard-earned money, and so this is my honest opinion. If a phone sucks, guys, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'll let you know it sucks, but this phone was great. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you found value in today's video, and if you enjoyed it and if you made it to the end, thank you. Highly appreciate you watching, and that has been the Google Pixel 8 Pro review. See you guys in the next one. Peace.